No one on the pitch at Portman Road tomorrow can boast a better football pedigree than Maidstone captain Gavin Hoyt. During the 33-year-old right-back's career he has rubbed shoulders and played with some of the game's greats.
Former Arsenal kid Hoyt has trained with the likes of Thierry Henry, Robert Pires, Jens Lehmann and Freddie Ljungberg. Has a brother, Justin, who was a member of the Gunners' 2004 Invincibles squad, and went on to play alongside him in the first team. Played for legendary boss Arsène Wenger alongside the likes of Cesc Fabregas, Robin van Persie, Gaël Clichy, William Gallas and Michele Silvestre, including in the Premier League. Read more in FOOTBALLDOUBLE. Up, win a Lamborghini Urus and a BMW M3 or £195,000 cash alternative from just 71px. Hack to the future. Arsenal fans reckon Wenger's 8-year Jacker plan is close to completion. Worked under Brendan Rodgers, Gus Poyet and was coached by Frank Lampard SNR, and played for Peter Taylor, the man who famously made David Beckham England captain. And for as good as tomorrow's FA Cup opponents Ipswich are under Kieran McKenna, no one in their squad can boast that.
Hoyt told Sunsport, "I was fortunate to have such grounding, but it's ironic I'm now captaining a Maidstone team that has got further in the FA Cup than Arsenal." The Gunners were knocked out by Liverpool in the third round, while sixth-tier Maidstone caused the upset of the season so far by dumping out League One high flyers Stevenage. Most read in FA Cup. Klopp quits. Klopp announces he will quit Liverpool at end of season in bombshell statement. Final words. Inmates' final words before first nitrogen gas execution, which took 22 minutes. Jez's battle. Jeremy Clarkson's secret health scare revealed as he admits H has lost one STKEN. Tax hell. Corrie legend Bill Roach facing bankruptcy hell, aged 91, over mystery tax debt-free bets. Best Betting offers new customer bonuses, and it was Hoyt's time in North London that shines brightest on his CV.
He said, "I was at Arsenal from the age of 9 through to almost 22. My brother Justin is 5.5 years older and was an inspiration. Our dad and I went to Highbury to watch his debut and loads of his games. We were so proud of him, and I got that feeling that I wanted to do what he was doing too."
Justin broke into the Arsenal team during the Invincibles season. "He was my role model. I'll never forget when he later scored his first and only goal against Charlton in the Premier League at the Emirates.
While a scholar, starry-eyed Hoyt had the pleasure of training with 4 members of the Invincibles, and also got to hang out in their changing room. He said, "I trained with Henry, Pires, Ljungberg and Lehmann, which was unbelievable.
While my brother was in the first team, I'd go into the dressing room. Thierry would always know my name and come to speak with me. He'd shake hands and ask how I was. I remember him talking to us scholars about himself and football.
His big advice was about being professional, going about things the right way, coming in every day and training properly." Lehmann was also great because he'd demand a lot from the youth players. Hoyt went on to play alongside his brother in the first team on a pre-season tour of Austria in 2007.
He said, "It was one of the proudest moments of my life. and they were in the squad together for the 2007-08 campaign before Justin was sold to Middlesbrough for £3 million in August 2008. But the younger Hoyt stayed and broke into the first team, making 4 starts, including one in the Premier League against Manchester City.
And he vividly remembers how Arsene Wenger put him at ease ahead of his top-flight debut. Hoyt said, "Every time Arsene spoke, you listened. He gave so many opportunities to younger players. When he first named me on the bench in February 2007 in the FA Cup at Blackburn, I was 16.
But the moment that stuck out for me was my Premier League debut in 2008. We sat down before the game in the dressing room. I was next to Clichy and he asked him, 'Do you remember your first game?' Arsene reminded him he got man of the match.
It was a way of easing my nerves. He said, 'Relax, just keep doing what you're doing. You've been doing well, that's why you're in the team, that's why you're starting.'
Hoyt was close to Clichy and Gallas, and added, 'Gail was great with the younger boys and William was always telling me what I needed to do.' I came on for one of the games and he was telling me to relax and keep talking on the pitch.
So those two stood out. We had some great players in that dressing room. Theo Walcott, Kolo Touré. There was Olivier Giroud, Philippe Senderos, Emmanuel Aboué, Bakary Sagna, Moussa Diaby and obviously Cesc Fabregas.
Hoyt then got loaned to Watford for half a season and played for Rodgers during his first ever managerial role with Lampard SNR coaching him. And while at Vicarage Road, the club played Chelsea in the FA Cup. The right-back said, "I was one of Rodgers' first signings.
He knew me from his time as Chelsea reserves manager when they played us. He told me I was a good and quick defender. Frank Lampard SNR was big for me there. He was almost like a dad, constantly getting me to do extras.
The Chelsea game was an incredible experience. We were up against Ashley Cole, Kolo, Anelka, Drogba and Lampard. We were even in front at one point but lost 3-1. Former Chelsea and Tottenham star Poyet was Hoyt's manager at Brighton where he spent a season on loan.
He said, he and his assistant Mauricio Tarraco were constantly drumming into me the need to stop crosses. At that stage of my career, I hadn't played much at right back so was learning that position.
Taylor was his manager at Gillingham and Dagenham, although Hoyt admitted, "I didn't get to play regularly under him." Hoyt has been with Maidstone for 4.5 years, and replaced Stones boss George Elokobi as captain when the ex-Wolves star hung up his boots.
And he has only words of praise for Elokobi. who has led him to the 4th round for the first time in their history. He said, "As soon as George walks into the room, you feel his presence. I used to carpool with him.
I learned so much from him driving in. He lives in Halstead while I'm in Brentwood, about halfway to Maidstone." Read more SUN stories. AIMA drama. Love Island fans slam Chris for gaslighting Arabella as shushes left in tears. Parking mad warden slaps fines on 60 cars in row as drivers demand show us the signs. There were 4 of us in the carpool and every day he would get there first. I live a minute away from where we used to meet, but he was still getting there before me. And I'm thinking, he lives so far away, how's this happening? It's little things like that, being such a professional.
Even at his age he was still doing things how he did in the Premier League. Transfer News Live. All the latest transfer deals from around the world this January.